Ooh-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So I'm bringing you a knife that needs a two-parter because this knife has so much going on with it that the video to do the whole thing, it would be like 30 minutes long, and nobody hangs around for 30 minutes watching these videos. So I want to make sure you get all the really important stuff you need. So this, my friends, is from Artisan Cutlery, and this is the Xcellerator. This thing caught me off guard in a big way. I want to read you like the first line of their description. This is coming in as their first design with custom knife maker Mike Snoddy. The Xcellerator makes a big impression with a powerful, and this is the key here. This is what got me completely twisted on this. It says with a powerful 3.75 inch blade in AR RPM 9 steel, which is the same as this guy right here, which I've been carrying every day, is this pyrite. This thing is freaking awesome. So I really like my pyrite. I mean, I love my pyrite. I know the blade steel in this is going to perform fantastically. Proof is in the pudding. So here's the deal. I saw this design. It was shown to me, and I was like, oh man, a harpoon. Everybody knows I don't like harpoons. And Artisan Cutlery, they know what I like. They know what I don't like. They see the stuff, and they're like, this dude only thinks he knows. And this, man, I'll tell you what, man. As soon as I saw a photo, I was like, ooh, I don't know, but maybe, it does. There's some really cool features on this. And then I really started looking at it. And what I did is I took a piece of cardboard and I printed an actual size, a photo of this knife. And then I take the photo and I put it on a piece of cardboard and I cut it out. And I put it in my hand, even though it was cardboard. And I can feel the differences and where it was going to work. And the thing, man, look at this thing. The thing that I don't like about harpoon-tipped knives is there's no add to function with a harpoon. It does nothing for the knife. It was just some fad that a bunch of people caught on to, and they're like, oh, everybody's making harpoons and they're selling, so we'll make harpoons and they're selling. But they don't add anything to the function of the blade. And this one, boop, I saw this and I said, wait a second. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 points of grip, right? I can choke up, I can go standard, I can go into a mid grip, and I can even grab my middle finger right here on a rear grip. And then I started really playing around with my little cardboard template, which is around here somewhere. And I said, you got to be kidding me. This is the first harpoon knife I've ever seen where the harpoon adds function to the knife. It adds functionality, right? So I thought that's going to be insane. And once I put it in my hand, once it got here, I put it in my low grip with the middle finger, and I realized that Artisan Cutlery made a folder that can chop. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Artisan Cutlery, this is how ballsy they are and how badass Artisan Cutlery is. They said, okay, we're going to take a style of knife. This guy, like every harpoon tip I have, you guys know this because they're in, go in my customs and look. You're going to look at my Zilla and you're going to look at the Rosecraft blade. I take off the harpoon tip. I grind them down, right? And so that's what this would look like. Beautiful. But it would lose because you see how much fat function there is inside this harpoon tip. It would lose a lot of that forward weight where the other two, the Zilla and the Rosecraft blades that I have that are harpoons, taking off the harpoon did nothing to change the weight, really. It just changed the aesthetics. If I was to take the harpoon off of this, it would ruin this knife. It would ruin it. That's how, like, really important this one is to me. Is to the knife. And what really got my attention, because harpoon tips do not get my attention. This thing got my everything. This one got my spirit. I'm telling you, this grip, designing this grip in this way was next to genius. It is multifunctional, multi-positional, multi-directional, everything about this thing. And just the fact that it is really, really well done. I mean, this knife is superb. Let's go over the specs on this guy. So we do have a blade length of just about 4 inches. We have 3.86 inches. We have a blade thickness of 3.7 millimeters. We have, this is they have stonewash and they have black PVD coating. I'll let you guess which one this is. The grind, flat grind. So right away you have my favorite grind. You have multi-positional. You have awesome everything. So I'm really, really stoked. You have the really, really good steel, which is ARRPM 9. You have a Rockwell hardness of 59 to 61. It is a drop point. So knowing that it's a drop point with flat grind, you know that's like my thing. I love drop points with flat grinds. I just love them. Let's see. We have an overall length of 8.86 inches. We have a closed length of 5 inches. 2XL hands. Never do I, or not never, but it's really hard to find a grip that's going to be as comfortable as this for a guy my size. This thing is just superb. The blade handle, of course, is micarta. The clip is titanium and really, really smooth. Look how pretty that is, man. That's just nice. The pivot assembly is ceramic ball bearing, and it is a liner lock, but it is a full liner lock. It stretches, and it's really, really nice. Let's see. I think that's pretty much, the weight is 6 ounces. So the overall everything about this knife just really, really caught me. You have right here, it's not a flipper. So you use the eye. You could use pretty much anything. Just give it a little break and it snaps. I mean, just absolutely snaps. It is so crisp. You can see where the liner lock lines up. It is absolutely perfect. When the knife is closed, it is dead nut centered. So you have gold collars in there, and you have a gold spacer in the rear that you can attach a strap to. And I like the fact that it's a strap hold instead of a lanyard hole. I really like that because it gives you more options. You'll see these a lot on good cameras. Just really, really good. It's just another nice thing they threw in there to make it better than everyone else's. And so far, I'm going to tell you that of every harpoon tip knife I've ever held or used, this is the nicest harpoon tip knife I've ever held. I haven't taken it out and given it a beating yet, and that's coming next. This was basically the introduction to the knife. I really, really want to spend the next video just out cutting, so we're not going to sit here and talk for 10 minutes about why it's so great. I'm just going to show you. But look at the lines. Even just in the grip contouring, how they bring it all together. Every single thing they did on this is completely thought through. Look at where the frame sits. You have this really nice, like, flat black micarta with this semi-polished frame going right to the gold. I mean, it's a really attractive knife. It really is. For someone who doesn't like harpoon tips and swore that any harpoon tip I would ever get is going to end up without it, let me tell you this 100%, full disclosure, honesty, I will never grind this tip down. This adds so much. And once, it's kind of hard to show you without showing you, and I'm glad that video is coming next. But once it's in your hand, you can really feel how substantial the differences in weight and momentum, traction, just everything that it needs to be, it is, because of the way it's designed. So I have to say that as far as the design itself, as a knife designer, it's one of my things where I beat up designs. I do, because for me it has to be designed right. This is the best harpoon tip design folder I've ever seen. If you are into harpoons, then this is going to be the one that's going to replace your other harpoons. And it's not even a standard harpoon, because it does have this nice thumb ramp right here with this really soft jimping. So you do get a rise before it comes down, and it doesn't curl back as a harpoon. It just kind of lifts. So it's almost just like they just took a drop point, and you can see from this line to this line where the steel would have met up. And it's just like they cut a hole out that if you used the very front grip, my thumb actually fits in it perfect. So when it comes down to tight cutting, it's right there. Now, does that make the harpoon tip necessary for that? No, because if my thumb rested on an area like this, I'd still get that. What this does, it just gives me a little extra real estate to push onto. If you are going to use it for some kind of skinning, it just helps you steer the knife. So there is something in there when it's built right and shaped right that can actually help you with a harpoon tip. Most just don't. This just does. Point blank. So the next video is going to be a straight up just cutting video, and I can't wait to actually swing it with this nice grip. This little hook right here locks my finger. If I squeeze my thumb in there, I have to really pull before you could hear how tight I'm pulling. You see the lines? How hard I'm pulling my finger in there and squeezing this through to get that out of there. That's a pretty good lock right there. That's a pretty good lock. My phone's right in front of me. It's very, very expensive. My computer is right on that side. Very, very expensive. And I can swing this all day long without the fear of it accidentally losing my hand and stabbing either of my screens, which would suck. And but I have literally no fear in any of that, because this thing was designed to be awesome. So I'm totally stoked to get this going. Let's get ready for part 2. This is going to be badass, man. I am absolutely in with this knife. Artisan Cutlery. Man, y'all told me to shut up, and all it did is make me talk more, but in the right way. Man, did they know that a designer knows a designer. They knew they were going to get me. They're probably laughing their asses off right now. He said he hates harpoons. Harpoons suck. This thing's awesome. All right, so let's get ready for part 2. This thing is super dope. I'm excited. I am Donnie B all day. Till next video.